Hey everybody, welcome back to Griswold Trading and Sunday's Questions with Clark. This is episode 2 of this series that I started, and we just basically go through questions that the followers ask on Twitter or the Discord or YouTube. We go through those questions, we give them the answers, and we move on with our day. So I'm trying to do this every Sunday as long as I have the questions that are asked and I have questions to answer. I'll go through them with you guys, and I do have one other thing that I want to go through with you guys at the end. It's not really strat related, it's just a little bit of fun info. So we'll save that for the end of the video. But let's get started on these questions. So the first one I have on from Twitter is from YR79. She said, can you give an example of in-force? I have scenarios where plays hit targets. I think she means triggers. And I get alerts and immediately get in only to get stopped out right away or goes the wrong direction and I have to get out. And that's part of the thing about keeping your stop losses tight. And if you go look at the SPY video that I did on episode 9 of our SPY series, I talked about how you really only need to win. Like that day, Friday the 23rd, there was 2 out of 6 possibilities or 6 trades that you could have taken based on that strategy that we teach out of that series. And only 2 of those trades won, but those 2 trades, even if you took the other 4 and lost, as long as you had your stop losses accordingly and how we teach them, those 2 trades would have either broke you even or had you in the green. And that's the thing a lot of people have to realize, like that's a 33% win rate. You don't need to have a 70, 80, 90% win rate to succeed at trading as long as you have your stop losses in place. So that's the second part of her question. The first part is, can you give an example of in-force? So I grabbed this from Cyberdog, and it's, let me go to it here. And I'm just going to pull it up on the screen for you guys. So this is a 1-month chart from BA. And the second last candle, so that is a shooter candle. The next candle over, as soon as that candle breaks to the bottom of that shooter candle, we're in force now. That's what it means to be in force. And then we look for it to hit the target. So as you can see on the photo, he's got his target marked out at the bottom of the next lowest wick. That's 143.41. So that's where he's got his target marked out. And like I said, as soon as we break the bottom of that shooter candle, that second last candle is a shooter. As soon as we break that, that is what it means to be in force. We are now in force on that play. Okay, so hopefully that helped you out with that question you had. The next one we've got off of Twitter. He said, hey Clark, I would like to know how you get in and out of trades. Do you have the trades pre-set up with your entry points, or do you enter them when they hit your entry price? So basically what he's asking is, are my trades automated? So do I set them up the morning before or the morning of and just have it automated? So once it hits that trigger, the trade automatically goes regardless of what happens. So no, I don't have automated trading on the platform that I use. They do have it on the Pro platform, but I haven't dove in enough to really get familiar with it for me to actually use it for my trading. So all my trades are done manually. So I'm watching on one screen and with the trading view chart, and I'm watching on the other with my brokerage, which is Quest Trade. So to answer your question, no, I don't have automated trading. It's very, very useful and very, very helpful because it takes the emotion out of the trades. So for me, it's manual, so I get into the trade once I see it trigger. I get out of the trade once I see it hit my stop loss, and that's it. And I move my stop losses up manually as I go on TradingView, and then I just watch for those. I just watch for it, and then on TradingView, and then I sell on my brokerage when it gets to those points. Okay, so that was that one. There weren't a ton of questions out here today, guys, and that's okay. I don't need a ton of questions for me to come on and talk to you guys about anything that you guys have questions on. So we're going to go to the Discord now. And this one was a bit of a longer question. So it's from Grandma Shannon. And so this question came out after I'd already done the recording for last week, so we're going to put it on for this week. And they say I have a strat question about the first opening bar of the day. All right, so if the previous day presents an opportunity for a strat setup, example, an inside bar or a potential reversal, can you trade the opening bar based on yesterday's, he's basically saying the last bar of the previous day. So if we're looking at something on the 15-minute chart, and I think he actually used that as an example. So if we had a 2 up that finished red on the 15-minute chart on a Thursday, and then we're looking to play that on Friday, and we're looking for a 2 down, he's asking if on that first 15-minute bar, can we take that play to the downside if it triggers to go 2 down? Yes, you definitely can. You don't have to wait for that first opening bar to close. So if there's a setup, regardless if it's Thursday at the end of the day and Friday first bar in the morning, or it's later on in the day, it's all the same thing. And I heard Addicts Trades talk about this when he was talking about going from a Friday to a Monday. The only thing that stopped that bar from going up or down was the stop on the market, was the close of the market. Otherwise, it continues. So if you had a 2 up that finished red and it was trending down, the only thing that stopped that thing from continuing to trend down was that the market closed. Okay? So and it was a really good tidbit. It's like an aha moment. Right? So there's a bunch of those when you start studying the strat and learning the strat, there's a bunch of aha moments that you will come through. And for me, that was one for me, because it's something his mind was thinking it in a little bit different way than normal, and that's realistically all it was. There was nothing stopping that thing except for the market closed. If the market stayed open, it likely would have continued down to hit its target. So that answers that one hopefully for you, Grandma Shannon. What else do we have here? What? Okay, so what percentage or number are you personally willing to see a trade retrace before you exit? I know everyone's risk tolerance is different, but what have you found works best for you? So I always tell you guys to try and let the candle stop you out. Okay, whether it's that you're letting the candle stop you out or you're letting the targets stop you out. So go check any of my review videos, any of the SPY review videos, any of the trading review videos that I've done, right? Where I go through trades that I've taken. I'll walk you guys through those steps of where to get in and where to move your stop losses as you're moving up, and then where to eventually get out and where you should have gotten out if you took that trade. So what Eric M is asking is if there's a percentage. Yes, there is definitely a percentage that I have in mind, especially when I'm day trading. It doesn't normally get there. It more likely happen if you're playing off of the larger time frames and you don't go down to the smaller time frames. If you're just staying on the 1 hourly or the 30, if that trade, I don't like to take a trade that reverses more than 20%. If I'm over negative 20%, that's pretty much my max. I don't like to go more than that because I don't want to waste my capital. And for every $100 that I put into a trade, that's $20. And I don't need to waste more than $20 on a trade. Okay? So if it doesn't go in my direction and I don't cut it at zero, at a break even, 20% is my max. I would like to see less than that, but 20% is my number. Stephanie 12 from the Discord says, once there is a trigger in the chart, do you immediately buy the contract? For me, yes. And well, I was going to say especially in the morning, but anytime. If I'm looking at a reversal midday, or if I'm looking at whatever it is, if I'm looking at any setup, whether it's first thing in the morning or middle of the day, if that triggers, that is my signal for me to get into that trade. So I'm not waiting to see if it moves a little bit. That's my signal. And if it reverses on me and I get out, then I get out. Okay, and then I look for the next one to get in. And again, this comes back to the SPY video, the SPY series, episode 9 that we just did. If it comes back through your trigger and is retraced, then that's okay, and just take a break even or take a 5 or 10% loss. The trades you want are the ones that don't retrace, and they have that nice flow either down or up. And then the retraces happen, but not to the magnitude where it gets you out of the trade. Okay, so that's what I really want you guys to concentrate on when you're looking at this stuff. Don't wait. Get into the trade, and if it doesn't work, it doesn't work. Cut your losses and move on to the next one. There's hundreds and thousands of trades available for you guys every single day. You don't need to be right and hope that you were right. If it reverses, hoping that it comes back, because more likely than not, it doesn't come back. Okay, so Steph, hopefully that answered your question for you. And then here's the thing I wanted to go through with you guys. I was reading something on it was one of the videos it came across my screen when I go through YouTube a lot, and I sometimes go down rabbit holes of YouTube, and that's okay, whether it's with health or money or motivation. I tend to go down these little rabbit holes, and a lot of times I watch YouTube instead of TV. I'll find, TED Talks or whatever, and that's just what I like to do. So I came across a thing, and it had just come out. It was for quarter two of the market, and it was a list of the top 10 stocks that super investors were buying into. So this isn't Strat related. Let me preface that right now. It has nothing to do with the Strat. It was just something that super investors are putting their money into. So there was a top 10. I'll go through them, and you guys can do what you will with it. This is more of a long-term investing thing. I don't have a lot of separate stocks, single stocks in my investment portfolio. I'm more of an ETF, whether it's SPY or VOO, which is also a S&P 500, VHT, things of that nature. That's what I put my long-term money into. I have a few single stocks, but that I have in my retirement portfolio, but mostly it's ETFs. So I'll go through them, and I'll just let you know what they are. So number 10 was Adobe. Number 9 was Bancorp. I think it's a bank. For me, I've never heard of it, and that's fine. So number 8 was Netflix. So Netflix, and I grabbed this from a tweet from somebody else, is down 62% year to date. Number 7 was PayPal, down 55% year to date. Booking Holdings was number 6. So again, I had never heard of Booking Holdings, but it's a whole bunch of different travel companies. It's Booking.com, and there's car rental companies. It's just a group of companies under Booking Holdings. Okay, so the number 5 on the list was Disney. Disney's down 36% year to date. Microsoft was number 4, down 29% year to date. Amazon, number 3, down 33% year to date. Now, Amazon, they showed in the video that Amazon's only seen 7% growth year over year over the last couple quarters or whatever it is. So their growth hasn't been exponential as it once was, but that's the number 3. And I think, so down to where Adobe was and Bancorp and Netflix, so that was 8 super investors had put money into those. And as we get into this top 3 here with Amazon, they had like 15 of the super investors. So super investors, I can't remember if I said it, but people like Warren Buffett, and I think Lee Lu is another one of those super investors. Michael Burry, I think, is on there as well. Now, they don't preface on which guys are buying which. They just have the number of super investors that are buying this stuff up. So number 2 was Meta, Facebook. So Meta is down 59% year to date. That was number 2. And the number one stock that super investors are buying into, Google. So Google's down minus 32% year to date. But if you really want to look at it, Google controls the internet. That is the main search platform for everything you do. With YouTube, it's Google AdSense. It's everything. So that stuff's not going anywhere. The problem that I saw with Facebook, they were having problems with revenue because of ads on Facebook. And that's their main revenue generator. And they've spent so much developing this meta universe. I think they said they had spent like $2.8 billion trying to develop this thing. So, take that for what you will. And if you're investing long-term in stocks like this, and again, take it for what you will, do your own research. I'm just sending out little tidbits that I thought were interesting. So again, Google was number 1 at 32%, Meta number 2, minus 59% year to date, and Amazon was number 3. I was surprised that Tesla wasn't on there, just because Tesla is such a highly talked about stock, and I was also very surprised not to see Apple on there. But those are the top 10, guys. That's the questions with Clark for Sunday, episode number 2, September 25th. We'll see you guys all next week. Good luck trading next week. As always, I wish you guys nothing but the best and nothing but green. We'll see you on the Discord. We will see you on Twitter. Good luck and bye-bye.